So unfortunately for us, for loops have one major flaw. And that flaw is that for loops are not designed to run forever. And they're also not designed for cases when we don't know when something should stop. But what are some specific scenarios of this? The first is going to be a web scraper. Think about it. If you are going to design a web scraper, you don't know how many pages that web scraper should crawl. You literally just want to crawl until it reaches the end of the web pages for the website. And even if you could find the number of pages, it would probably take you more time than just making the actual while loop. The same goes for databases. If you were to iterate through every single row in a database, you just want to iterate through till it stops, and you don't need to know how many rows are in the database. And the third is going to be for programs that need to wait for user input. And we're going to actually be building something like this here in a second, so just kind of hang on for this one. But let's just kind of break down a while loop step by step, and let's just kind of talk about what happens when one executes. Well, first things first, the code is going to run, and what's going to happen is that it's going to reach the while, and it's going to evaluate what is on the inside of the parentheses. And if this is true, it is going to begin iteration until this becomes false. And you may be looking at this while loop and thinking, well, isn't this going to run forever? Yes, this while loop is just to illustrate how it works, and you would never do this because it will indeed execute forever. And also, one other very important aspect of the while loop is that if this is false to begin with, a while loop may not execute at all. And if this is false, it will literally just skip the while loop. Here's an example of a for loop turned while loop. What exactly do I mean by that? Well, a while loop doesn't have any way to actually track when something should end. So if you are going to design a while loop that's going to end at a specific place, you would have to put state on the outside. But we would never do this in real life because we would more than likely just use a for loop. So let's go ahead, let's hop inside VS Code, and let's actually code up a pretty realistic scenario of when you would see a while loop in real life. So what we're going to be building is what's called a pinger, or basically just a small piece of software that's going to check for network connections via a ping. And if the network connection is successful, it's going to give us a console log to show us that it's successful. And we're going to be utilizing C#'s network libraries. And the first network type, or the first network library that we're going to be using, is going to be the ping. You guessed it, ping. And C# provides all of this for us. Now, if you don't know what new is and you don't know what the syntax is, this is going to be what's going to help us create objects. And we're going to be discussing it more in the next video. So if this looks very foreign to you, don't worry about it right now. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to be bringing in the ping reply. And the ping reply, we're going to just call it PR, and we are going to be utilizing what's called a send. So when we utilize these libraries and we utilize this new, it is creating data structures for us that we can use. And what we want to do is we want to send a ping request to Google's DNS server. This is a public address that probably gets hundreds of millions of requests each day, and we're going to check to see if Google's DNS server is up and running. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to be using a while. But with a while, we want to check over and over. We kind of just want our pinger to show in the background and tell us if the connection is established. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to first go get our PR up here. We're going to have our status. We need to turn this into a string, and we're going to check if this is a success. And what's going to happen is when this actually sends, it's going to return a success, and we're going to be checking this over and over. And when we do this actual ping request, and we get a success back, that's also another key point. We want to keep checking it. So if we want to keep checking it, we're going to go into here, and just for so we can actually see what's going on, I'm going to go ahead and log the PR status. So I'm going to say PR status, going to say toString, and within this toString, I'm also going to put an exclamation mark here, and this is going to let us know that it is indeed working. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, we're going to go get our PR again, and we're going to resend the ping request. And when we send the ping request, we want to send it back to 8.8.8. I would stick with Google's DNS servers. You have to be careful about sending random ping requests to servers. They may think that you are a nefarious individual. So let's just make sure that we're sending it to Google server. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. We're going to have a console.writeline, and we're going to say something along the lines of waiting 10 seconds. So I'll say waiting 10 seconds for next request. And what we're going to do is we're going to wait 10 seconds. You don't want to be sending thousands and thousands of requests to Google's DNS servers. We don't really need that many. So what we're going to do is we're going to utilize what's called a sleep, and we're going to have it sleep for, let's just say, another 10 seconds. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. And in order to have 10 seconds, we actually need to have 10,000. You could have it sleep every second, but I'm just going to have it sleep every 10 seconds. And also make sure that you add this sleep here, otherwise it's going to send a bunch of requests. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and run it. So I'm going to say .net.watch_run, and let's see what happens. And as you can see here, we get our first success, and it's going to wait 10 seconds for the next request. Boom, we get our second success. And each 10 seconds is going to sit here and ping over and over again. And this little nice pinger that we made is going to be checking in the background to make sure that our connection is live. Anyways, hope that you guys enjoyed this. It's a neat little program. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching.